You ready?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not, because you're drinking. Is that going to be in the way?
I don't think so.
Okay. Welcome once again to the Big B and Little T channel. I am the Big B.
And I'm Little T.
And today we are just going to give you a rambling discussion. We have now been in Kentucky for a couple of months, and many of the followers that we have know us personally, and we just thought it'd be interesting to give you an update in terms of what we're doing, maybe what's next in our journey. But I'll just turn it over to Tina, and she can talk a little bit about what our day looks like now, what we've enjoyed here in Kentucky, and I'll maybe take it from there.
Yeah, if you want to look, I'll put it up in the corner here. We did make a video of a day in the life in Kentucky, and I don't know, since it's been a long time since we've made such a big move of what I expected, how long it would take to get settled in. So we have a really good morning routine. I feel like we do well with routines, and so we've just been taking advantage of the excellent weather here in the morning, the no wind, hardly ever at all, just a slight breeze, and taking a long walk or going for a run in the morning, even playing pickleball in the morning, and then sitting on our front porch, which is really not a porch, it's just kind of a small area outside where we have a couple chairs and a place for Lucy to lay, and we drink our coffee, a couple of cups, and have our Bibles and just some journals, and just get some really nice quiet time, enjoying a cup of coffee all the way to the bottom. I was joking with a friend recently that it's just so strange to get to finish a cup of coffee, but that's what we do really during the mornings. And then I sometimes will do computer book. I'm working on creating some self-published books, and I work on that and read books, do crosswords, mind puzzles, things like that, so I don't stay stagnant.
Yeah, there's actually been a few days that we don't even know what day of the week it is. So that's really a good problem to have, and like Tina said, we feel like we have a good routine in the morning, and one of the probably the most unique things that has happened here is we actually feel like we're getting enough sleep. When we worked at 6-11, of course, we had to get up very early, and it was always felt like we were trying to catch up. And here, we actually wake up, we don't set an alarm or anything, we actually wake up to the sun rising, usually around 6 o'clock, 6:15 in the morning, and you have to go to bed around 10, so we're getting close to 8 hours of sleep a day. And that's really, really nice. And like I said, we've been here 2 months, and it feels like we're getting rested, which kind of leads us into, the next, part of our journey. We know that we don't have the financial margin, and really, we're not even at that age to, fully, quote, retire. We don't really like that word, but, we don't have the resources to just live off of the, the margin that we have built throughout life. So we are in this transitional time, and we want to leverage the fact that we do have some financial margin because we've saved some money, and but at the same time, it's created this dilemma, and this dilemma is right now we do have some financial margin to continue to not work for a period of time, but it limits us in terms of if we wanted to go out and do something. So as an example, let's say that we wanted to take a road trip, and 2 or 3 or 4 days. We're not people that are going to be roadies that are going to be gone 3 or 4 weeks at a time, but it might be nice to go somewhere and visit different sites in Kentucky or in this area. We talk about fall foliage. So obviously anytime you do that, it does cost money, but in our case it may cost more money in the sense that we do have a very reliable vehicle, and quite confident that it probably could make small trips, but it does have 225,000 miles, and at some point we know that we probably aren't going to risk a faraway trip just because we don't want to be caught out in the middle of nowhere. So that's kind of forced us to think about, at some point we probably are going to need to get a car, and we'll want to get a car that has fewer miles, more reliability.
And better gas mileage.
Better gas
the one we have now is kind of like a mini SUV.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't want to downplay our nice car. We have a very nice car, and it runs quite well. And we've driven it, 60 miles, 80 miles, 90 miles, but we're probably not going to drive it 500 miles.
No.
Just because of the number of miles that are on it. So the dilemma that is created really is that we do have the financial margin, but it limits us in terms of if we want to do things outside of, basically staying home, which thankfully we're very much stay-at-home bodies. But if we decide, choose to go out and buy some type of vehicle, as cost effective as possible, of course, it does eliminate your margin, and then that forces us to have to look at some type of employment. So then you get a job, and then you don't have the time. So it's just a funny dilemma, and I have to believe that other people around our age are in the same dilemma, in the sense that we have time right now, but we may not have the financial margin, and then or the vehicle or whatever else it is. So it's nothing that is that big a deal.
And we've even thought about renting a car, because you could rent a car way cheaper than you can buy a car, and we could rent a car for a few days. But then, you just think, is that the best way to use your money?
Yeah, I mean, we actually drove a car here in Kentucky recently. It was fun to drive, but it certainly was not the car that we'd want to, not the amount of money that we would want to spend on a car, hopefully. Because it would reduce our margins significantly, and we don't want to, for the most part, we don't want to be create debt that again is going to force us to go back to work, because we really believe this is a very important time for us to, we always said, to rest, but also just to listen to God, to relax, and to be in tune with what He wants us to do, and we don't have a clear picture on that yet. So for us, the longer we can just keep pushing that out, the better. So I think we both have agreed, we're not going to go out and buy a car right this moment. It's just something that we're thinking about probably over the next 2 to 6 months, somewhere in that range.
Well, as you can see, we are pretty much routine people and quite boring, because we are very satisfied with doing pretty much the same thing every day. And we're just curious, if you're in a similar position to us, or if you had other dilemmas that are, kind of like ours, where you have a chunk of money but you don't want to spend it all up to get something that you might need for some other thing that you might want to do, such as travel, give us a comment down below and let us know how you solved that problem. And we would love to hear from you. And our lives are getting more settled here, but we're also, going out and maybe looking at other places. We have relatives coming to visit in about a month, and so we're asking local people here of things that are fun to do in Kentucky that we haven't had a chance to figure out in the first 2 months. So
yeah, if you're interested in giving us some type of good, used, reliable, good gas mileage car, you can just let us know, and we'll happily take it off your hands too.
But anyway, thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel for more videos like these, and we'll see you the next time.
Bye-bye.